Hey, welcome back guys. You're watching M&S IT Technology. Welcome to CCN Routing and Switching Tutorials series. Today we are discussing about trunking. Trunking. Both switches have the same 5 VLANs. Do you have a link for each VLAN? More efficient for them to share a link. Traffic for all the VLANs travels between the switches on a shared trunk or backbone. Tag to identify VLAN. Tag is added to the frame when it goes on to the trunk. Tag is removed when it leaves the trunk. Frame tagging IEEE 802.1q. VLAN trunking operation. Switching tables at both ends of the trunk are used to make forwarding decisions based on destination MAC addresses of the frames. As number of VLANs increases, this process becomes slower. Larger switching tables take longer to process. Trunking protocols were developed to efficiently manage the transfer of frames from different VLANs on a single physical line. Modern trunking protocols use frame tagging. Faster delivery of frames. Easier management. The single physical link between two switches can carry frames for multiple VLANs. Each frame is tagged to identify the VLAN to which it belongs. Different tagging schemes exist. Cisco's ISL. IEEE 802.1q. The tag is removed when the frame leaves the trunk. ISL trunking. With ISL, an Ethernet frame is encapsulated with an additional header that contains a VLAN ID. With IEEE 802.1q, a tag containing the VLAN ID is embedded in the Ethernet frame. A trunk link does not belong to a specific VLAN. It is a conduit for VLANs between switches and routers. VLAN trunking multiplexing data from multiple VLANs onto a single link. IEEE 802.1q trunking. The IEEE 802.1q protocol interconnects multiple switches and routers. Defines VLAN topologies. Cisco supports IEEE 802.1q for fast Ethernet and gigabit Ethernet interfaces. Can carry traffic for multiple VLANs over a single link on a multi-vendor network. Extends IP routing capabilities to include support for IP frame types. The two ports on the ends of an IEEE 802.1q trunk are assigned to a native VLAN. VLAN 1 by default can be assigned to another VLAN. All untagged frames are assigned to the native VLAN. Ordinary end stations are able to read the untagged frames but not the tagged frames. IEEE 802.1q trunking. Frames associated with the native VLAN are untagged and are readable by end stations. Adding a frame tag results in the recomputation of the frame check sequence, FCS. Embedded tag increases the size of the Ethernet frame. Recomputation of the FCS. The IEEE 802.1q standard defines a unique spanning tree instance running on the native VLAN for all the network VLANs. An 802.1q monospanning tree, MST, lacks some flexibility compared with a per VLAN spanning tree plus, PVST+, that runs one instance of spanning tree protocol, STP, per VLAN. A monospanning tree has only one instance of spanning tree for all VLANs. Per VLAN spanning tree, PVST, maintains a spanning tree instance for each VLAN. Uses ISL trunking. Cisco developed PVST Plus to enable running of several STP instances and to allow connection of an MST zone to a PVST zone. Cisco PVST Plus interoperates with other vendors' STP implementations. PVST Plus provides support for 802.1q trunks and the mapping of multiple spanning trees to the single spanning tree of 802.1q switches. Must be in a tree-like structure for proper STP operation. PVST Plus architecture has three types of regions. PVST region, PVST Plus region, MST region. Each region consists of a homogeneous switch. Can connect a PVST region to a PVST plus region by connecting two ISL ports. Can connect a PVST plus region to an MST region by connecting two 802.1q ports. The existing Cisco STP implementation was extended to become PVST plus. Added support for tunneling across an IEEE 802.1q MST region. Tunneling means that BPDUs are flooded through the MST region along the single spanning tree in the MST region. PVST Plus is thus compatible with 802.1q and PVST. The existing Cisco STP implementation was extended to become PVST Plus, continued. PVST Plus adds verification mechanisms to ensure consistent port configuration and needs no additional configuration commands. IEEE 802.1q trunks impose some limitations on trunking strategy for a network. The native VLAN none for an 802.1q trunk must be the same on both ends of the link. The network must be loop-free before STP is disabled. Interaction between 802.1q features and trunk ports. Configure trunk port. Make a port into a trunk port and tell it which VLAN is native. Int var 0/1. Switch port mode trunk. Switch port trunk native VLAN 99. By default native VLAN is 1. Dynamic trunking protocol. If you like our channel, please do like, subscribe and share. Thank you.